Hi boys and girls, it's your art teacher, Mrs. Steffgen. And today, you and I are going to make a comic strip together. You've probably read some comic strips before in the newspaper, and I've got a few of them to show you here. This is a comic strip of Garfield. You probably remember the cat Garfield, and this is kind of a funny one because what comic strips do is in a few different boxes, they begin to tell you a little bit of a story. So this one says, Garfield is thinking it with the little bubbles going up because animals can't talk. So they always put little bubbles coming from them. And this one says, I don't think I can eat all of my lettuce leaf, he says. And there's that lettuce leaf in front of him. And then he just kind of stares at it, and so does his friend. And then he gets angry and he says, because I'm planning to pass out from hunger. He's angry and he grabs the guy's collar. But that's only what he's thinking because cats and dogs can't really talk. So that's kind of a cute one. And then I have one that's with Charlie Brown and Charlie Brown's friend. And this one has a lot of talking in it. So when she is talking to Charlie Brown, you can see that that's kind of like a little triangle shape that comes down because her mouth is actually saying these words. So this is kind of a funny cartoon one too that kind of tells the story as it goes along. She says, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So she's telling the Christmas story, it sounds like. Remember, if I don't get something quite right, let me know, she says. And then she goes on to say, the stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that Jack Nicklaus soon would be there. But it's not Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus is a golfer. And she meant to say Saint Nick, I think, but she said Jack Nicklaus. And then he says, I almost hate to bring this up, but... So it's kind of a funny one. So it's kind of a story that's being told as you go along. So notice that the background in this has a little picture in the corner. And this background's a different color, so maybe they moved to a different room. And then this one has a different color, and so they maybe moved to a different room. And then I think they went back to the original room where it was blue, but instead of showing the picture, they show the curtains on the side. So your backgrounds of your pictures can look different too. So today, you're going to make your own comic strip, and here's how you're going to do it. You're going to take a piece of paper, and you're going to fold it in half like a book, like this, and try to get the edges kind of even so it is an even piece, and then you're going to fold it. Smush it down both sides. Then you're going to take this one and you're going to fold it into a smaller book, just like this. So you're going to fold it 2 times. And when you open it up, there should be 4 boxes. So in these 4 pictures, you can start to tell a story. And you're going to go just like when you read a book, you're going to start here and go across, and then start here and go across. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go and make those folded lines dark with pencil, just like this. And this is what it looks like now. And then you have to come up with your own people or creatures or animals or robots or whatever you want to do to start to tell a story about them. So in mine, I folded my paper 2 times, once like this and once again. And when I opened it up, there were 4 boxes, and this is my comic strip. I started off with a curly-haired dog, and my curly-haired dog is sitting on green grass, and the background is a yellow sky with blue buildings outlined in the background. And I continued the same one in the back, but I changed the sky a little bit to be, instead of just all yellow, it's a little bit orange at the very bottom. And in the next one, there's more orange and just a little bit of yellow at the top. And same with this one, a lot of orange and just a tiny bit of yellow at the top. So the sky changed, but the background of the buildings didn't change at all, and the grass didn't change at all. So in the first one, the curly-haired dog is just sitting looking at us. In the second one, because dogs can't talk, the little bubbles are coming out of them. And this, the curly-haired dog meets a straight-haired dog. And he says hi, and he says hi. And then they start to play by getting up and putting their paws together. And the curly-haired dog says, this is fun. And the other dog says, I know. And then all of a sudden you see them in the last box, and one's going one way and one's going the other way. And this dog, the curly-haired dog, says, see you. And the other one says, yeah, see you. And that's the end of the story. So a little bit of something happens as it goes along, and that's what I want you to do in your comic strip, make something happen. So let's say I started my comic strip, and instead of making a person or an animal, I decide to make a robot. So I draw a picture of a robot, and I make my robot look the way I want my robot to look. And I'm not going to make him too hard to draw, but he's going to have claws for his hands, and he's going to have antennas sticking out of his head, and he's going to have a little face that looks like a robot face. There's my robot. And I can color him with colored pencil, or I can color him with crayon, whatever you have at home. And I'm going to put in his background, so I've got to make the ground and the sky. So I can color in the ground the way I want to, and the sky I can put in the sun, I can put in a rainbow, I can put in clouds, I can put whatever I want. And then the next picture, I'm going to make this same robot, and maybe he meets another robot that looks different, or maybe he meets a person, or maybe he meets an animal. And then I'm going to have the robot and the animal, or the robot and the person do something different here. And then at the end, same thing. Or maybe they run into somebody else too. So I'm going to keep making the story go as it goes along, and I have to put in my head first, I'm making a comic strip, and I have to tell a story. What kind of story am I going to tell? So you tell a story with your comic strip. See you later.